So everyone, today we are going to start with Visual Studio, and you should install Visual Studio 2015 or 2013. Anything should work for our course. And I have sent the document. You have to install it after the class. So let's get started. So file. So when you open Visual Studio, you will see like this, and file, new project, file, new project, and I'm going to select here now a console application. So until we completely learn C# programming, I will be using this console application for our projects. So console application will help us to understand the programming concepts. And let me explain what are the types of applications we normally have which can be developed using .NET. Okay, so now let me open Notepad. So everyone, so what is the first application is desktop application. So what is an example for desktop application? Can everyone ping me? Desktop application, an example? Yes, I got the answer from Harsha, and it is Word, calculator, and we discussed. So we can develop desktop applications using .NET, and second one is web applications. We can develop web applications. So this is the primary target for us. So primary goal for this course is to learn about developing web applications using ASP.NET. So ASP.NET primarily deals with creating websites and web applications, in which ASP stands for active server pages. ASP stands for active server pages. Similarly, for Java J2E projects, we have something called JSP, and JSP stands for Java Server Pages. Okay, and the third is console application. So console applications are normally very popular. Any idea where do we use console applications? Anyone in the class? For positive answers, ping C. If you don't know the answer, you can ping me as you don't know. Okay, so where do we use console applications? An example, a real world example. Okay, so console applications are used in many places. One example is for scheduled tasks. Okay, so scheduled tasks, what does it mean by scheduled tasks? Anyone? Any idea what is a scheduled task? Anyone in the class, what is the meaning of a scheduled task? Yes, I got the answer from a couple of Geeta and Harsha. So runs on a particular time. There's the name itself is suggests it runs on a particular time. Let me explain you once. So MS Paint, let me open MS Paint. Okay, now let's take a simple example which you can understand. So normally if you take banking websites, normally you will have one database which will be called as Oltp. Okay, so I will explain this, so please focus on the class now. So this banking applications will have a database called Oltp database. So Oltp stands for online transactions and processing. So Oltp database, and there will be other database called OLAP. So OLAP means, anyone? What is OLAP stands for? So OLAP stands for online analytical processing. So this is OLAP. Okay, now so if you have a bank account, can all of you ping me to can you see the ATM transactions or the transactions which you have done 2 years back? Can you see online? Everyone please ping me. Okay, sorry. Okay, now everyone, sorry, I was on mute. Now you're able to hear me? Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so by mistake that button got pressed and I just noticed it. Okay, now normally if you take now I'm going to explain you uh, where do we use this console applications. A simple example. Okay, now let's say this. If you take any banking applications, so for day-to-day transactions, we will have one database called OLTP. And OLTP stands for Online Transaction Processing. And OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing. Okay? So if a question to all of you, if I am, let's take, I want to check my balance 3 years back for a particular month, what transactions I did. Can I check them online? Everyone please ping me. So 3 years back on January 2012 January, what transactions I have done, can you check it online? 4 years back, you cannot check. Okay, so normally banks will provide the statement, mini statement or detail mini statement for the last 10 transactions and detailed statements for the last 6 months or maximum last 2 years. Okay, so not more than that. So what banks will do is, so some banks, very big banks, they will have access even for the last 5 years data. They will put you, you can verify the transactions. Not beyond that at any case, because so banks' websites will have access to this OLTP. Okay, so OLTP stands for Online Transaction Processing. So every time when you transact some money, all the records will be stored here. And every day a nightly job will run at 1 o'clock or something. It will copy the last 6 months data from today. Effective that day, the last 6 months data before that, 6 months data beyond that, it will copy to OLAP. So if it runs today, let's take today's 30th January. So 6 months beyond the data, it will copy to OLAP. So OLAP is like a data warehouse where it will have all the historical data. Okay, so now when I need a mini statement or detailed statement, I will go here and check it. But when I need some information about 5 years back, what are the transactions I did, that will not be there here. So, and my web application will not have access to this. So this OLAP will be like used for reports generation. So reporting or analysis, data analysis and reporting, where bank staff will have the access. So bank staff will have web application and they will have access to this OLAP. So what you have to do is you have to raise a request for that month's data statement. So now when you raise this request, bank staff will get a ticket and they will access this OLAP on behalf of you, and they will generate the document and they will mail you. Make sense, everyone? Are you getting it? So this is the nightly jobs or the scheduled tasks which run every day to copy the 6 months data to OLTP, from OLAP to OLAP. Okay, so basically console applications are used at many places. So I just told you one example where we use this, where we can use this console application for scheduled tasks. Okay, so we will again discuss more on that, but for now just keep in mind one example of the place where console application is used is for creating the scheduled tasks. Okay, so first example for different types of applications is desktop applications. One example is Notepad, calculator, etc. And second one is web applications. One example is Gmail, Yahoo, etc., or Amazon.com, etc. And third one is what is the third one? Third one is console applications. Now I got a question, is SSIS a console application? No, SSIS is not a console application. Okay, so there are three parts. So now let's take for example, there are three things in MSBI. So MSBI stands for Microsoft Business Intelligence, and in that there are three things: SS, SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. Okay, so this is called integration services, this is called reporting services, this is called analytical services. So SS stands for, anyone? What does SS stands for? Yes. So in this SSIS, SS stands for SQL Server. SQL Server integration services, reporting services, analytical services. Okay. Now why I told is, so although we use these things, without using these all these three also, you can create a simple console application. Without MSBI, you can create a simple console application to copy data from this to this. We use this only for complex data. If you have a huge database and hundreds of tables and hundreds of 50s of applications you have, and you want to integrate them into single database where you write ETL transactions, lot of things you do, then you go for this thing. Okay, so in this case, for our small purpose, you may not require this MSBI. You can create a simple console application as well. Okay, so makes sense now? Now let's try to understand. So until we learn C# programming thoroughly, we are going to use console applications, and although our purpose of console applications is to learn, now we are going to learn C# programming, and let's get started. Okay, so first thing is, what you have to do is, I'm going to click on File, New Project, File, New Project. Let me click on this. File, New Project, and select console application and click on OK. I'm just selecting a console application, and remember you have to select C#, Visual C#, and then you have to select console application, and then you can change the name if you want, or you can leave it. So if you want to give some name, let's give Hello World. Okay, so we gave Hello World C#, and I'm going to click on OK. So you can give any name of your choice. I repeat again. So first step is File, New Project, File, New Project, and then you have to select Visual C#. So by default, if you see in Visual Studio, you will have templates. So all these are called templates. All these are templates. So it'll have a basic skeleton application. So you have to write over this. So if you select console application, it'll have a general template, and above which you have to write your own code. Okay, and these are the languages by default you will get in Visual Studio. So Visual Basic is one of the popular programming languages from Microsoft, and VB was predominantly used 10 years back. It was very popular language 10 years back, but slowly now almost not even 5 to 10% of projects are using VB because of the power of C#. C# is most predominantly used, and Microsoft is investing a lot now. Okay, and Visual C++, C++. So C++ also template support in Visual Studio, and F# is also a programming language which templates are supported in Visual Studio. So for our course, we will be using C#. So whenever you're creating project, first thing is New Project and select Visual C# and select console application. This we have to do for the next week until we complete C#. Okay, so now I'm going to select console application, click on OK. Now you can see here project got created, and by default there are some namespaces. So these are very frequently used namespaces. So the template, in the template it's getting added, but we don't need all of them at this point of time. You can remove them. Okay, so you can remove them, and so in the first class we discussed what is a namespace. Everyone please ping me, what is a namespace? What definition I told in the class? What is a namespace? So a namespace, I got the answer from Geeta, very good. A namespace is group of classes. So if you see here, system is a .NET framework library namespace which ships with .NET. And this namespace is we are creating now. This is user defined namespace. Okay, so using available .NET framework, namespaces. Okay, so using all available namespaces, we are going to create our own namespace, our own class, and our own functionality we are going to write. Okay, so this class, this project, already we have one referring to .NET Framework Library, and this is our namespace which we are creating now, and this is our class inside this. So we can have any number of classes, and this is the method, main method where program execution starts. And if I write here console.writeLine, hello world. So the benefit of using Visual Studio is you don't have to remember. The first and foremost benefit is you will get a lot of templates, and you will get the structure of the C# program. So if you don't use Visual Studio, you have to type it completely. Okay, and the next benefit is, see here, when I'm typing console, it is suggesting me with the possible names. So that is also the best thing of any editor which we use, because IntelliSense is so when I'm typing it, it shows with IntelliSense the possible. So I can just press tab and that will select it. Okay, console.c writeLine, I'm just typing writeLine, it is showing it as, it is highlighting it, and when I press tab, the highlighted one, which is already blue color one, that will be selected. If I need some other one, I need to press up arrow or down arrow. So when I press up arrow, it will change the method. So console is a class which is present in which namespace? So console, when I move the mouse here, you can see, when I move the mouse, you can see here, console is a class. Console is a class which is present in system namespace. So that's why it's showing here. Okay, so now .writeLine. So .writeLine is present in which class? .writeLine is present in console class. Now writeLine C# will be very interesting. Okay, now I'm going to put here console.readLine. Now if I don't put this console.readLine, let's see what happens. I'm going to comment it now, and when I run this code, okay, so you cannot see my other screen. So what's happening in my other screen is that the console window is just appearing and disappearing. So I need a mechanism using which I need to stop the output window. So console.readLine is something like which will, so let me run this and then show you. It is like getch. Now if you see here, I am seeing the output. I am seeing the output and my cursor is blinking here. So this cursor is blinking here. That means it's waiting for some input from me. So console.readLine is used to read something from the user. So now my console window is assuming that I'm going to enter something, so it's waiting to read because of this console.readLine. So if I would have not given this console.readLine, it would have printed this output, and this window would have got immediately disappeared. Now make sense everyone why we have added this console.readLine? Everyone please ping me. If you're able to follow, please ping me as C. If you're not able to follow, please ping me as Yan. So now let's try to understand. Let me stop it, let me close it, and now I'm going to comment it now. So as all other programming languages, in C# also we have two types of comments. Okay, so this is the first type of comment. So this is inline comment. So inline comment or one line comment. Okay, so and So any line if you want comments. So comments are used for adding some additional information about our code. Comments are used for adding some additional information about our code. So if you see this inline comment, and also there is something called multi-line comments. So multi-line comments are like this. So we'll put like this, and wherever you want to stop, you can give like this. So all these comments you can write code. So normally multi-line comments are used like this. First line author, so and you'll put date. Let's take 29th January 2016, and purpose. So C# demo, C# first program. Okay, so like this. So you can add some information about your project. So in office, in some companies I have worked on, so for every file we write at the starting, we add this author, date, and purpose. So what is the purpose of this code? And also we will maintain something called version history, like this. Okay, so this will add the readability. So after 5 years, if someone looks into the project, or if after 5 years, if this project gone to maintenance, and someone is trying to understand the code, these comments will help. Or even in version control tool, we can check for the history of who changed the files, but this way it will be more readable. Okay, so anyway, so we just learned about two types of comments. One is inline comment and the other one is multi-line comments. Okay, so let's come back. Now let's try to understand more about this project now. Okay, now, so this is a very simple project. Now the first thing is, if you sometimes you don't want to put this console.readline. So if without putting this console.readline, if you still want to see the output, you can actually press Ctrl F5. So in order to execute this, you can click on the start button, or there is a shortcut to execute this program, which is F5. So when I press F5, the program gets executed. So when I press F5, the program gets executed. So let's see. So now I have a tool, so that command is now okay. Just a second. Okay, now, so let me press Ctrl F5. So what's happening now is, let me tell you. So I have I have something called screen recording software. So what that is doing is that it is having its own shortcuts. So when I press F5, that is having the shortcut whose so ideally this should run. So if you see here, so let me run this. Okay, so now in the next class I will change the commands for that tool, so that, are you seeing this green line when I press F5? Are you seeing this green box, everyone? Yeah, so that's coming because of so anyway, so let me see. Okay, so anyway, let me click on F5. Okay, now, so one more point to note here is, if you don't write this using system, you will get an error saying, the moment I removed it, see here, when I press Ctrl Z, the moment I remove this namespace, you can notice here that this turned out to black color, and it's getting highlighted as console does not exist in the current context. Okay, so you have to include the namespace if you want this console, or there is other way to do it. So you can also write with full including the namespace system dot console dot write line. So you can write like this as well. So this is also right. So either you can write like this, or you can write here using system, and then you can just write console dot write line. Okay, so this is how you have to write. So this is a simple console application we just created, and now we are going to see how to declare variables. And before next class, you have to go through data types, the video which I sent in the document, the last one, this one. So before next class, everyone should complete all this PDF material which I sent to you. Okay, so now let's try to understand how to declare variables. Now I'm going to write, today we will learn one more topic, how to print it. So now int age is equal to 30, string name is equal to Meganadha, and string profession is equal to and teaching. Okay, so now let's take, for example, I want to print like, let's take for example, I need to print like this. Can everyone help me? So I need to print like this. This is Meganadha and I am 30 and work is teaching. So if I need to get the output like this, so what I should do now, everyone please ping me. So in C language, how do you write it? So in C language, how do you write it? So I have to use these three variables. So let me open Notepad. So we have to use console.writeLine, right? So in C language, you'll use like this, printf. You'll write like this. This is %yes, comma, I am %d, and work is %yes, comma, you will write like this, right? This is like name, comma, and then age, comma, profession. Do you know like this? Anyone in the class know this? Like in C language we write like this. Anyone in the class know this? Okay, so what happens to %yes? What happens to this in this place %s? So this will be printed, and in case of %d, this will be printed. In case of %yes, this will be printed, right? So here in C# also we have something similar to that. So what we have to do is we have to write like this. So let me write like this. Here there is no %yes and all. Console.writeLine, this is flower bracket 0, I am flower brackets 1, and work as flower brackets 2, and then you just need to put comma, I need to put name, comma, age, comma, profession. That's it. Okay, so and then we have to put console.readline. Okay, so see here, so in case of flower bracket 0, this will be printed. In case of flower brackets 1, this will be printed. In case of flower brackets 2, this will be printed. Or there is other way to do it also, and let's see if you guys get confused with this. So what you have to do is console.writeLine. So you have to tell me which one do you prefer. So this is plus. So this is double quotes plus name plus double quotes, comma, I am plus age plus double quotes, and work as plus profession. So which one do you prefer? First one or second one? Everyone please ping me, which one do you prefer to write? Second one?
Why second one is a bit confusing, right? Why you have to write this many appending? So you should not prefer this. First one is very easy, right? Flower bracket 0, this will be printed. Flower brackets 1, this will be printed. Flower brackets 2, this will be printed. So the second option is not good. See? Yeah, I know. So those who are selecting second option, they are already a seasoned programmer. I can see that almost everyone has selected second option. That means have all of you have some experience in programming, right? Okay, so now, okay, now let's see this. Okay, one of the student didn't get this document. I will send it. Okay, so okay, now, so but from now on, be comfortable with this as well, because I'm going to use this, and even when you join some company, you have to use this. Okay, so I repeat again, it starts with 0. Index starts with 0. Okay, index starts with 0, and now if I change it here, now when I put here 2, Control X, if I'm putting 2 here, and if I put here like this 0, so then what happens is it doesn't care for so always 0, the first one after this comma is 0, and this is 1, this is 2. So in place of 0, name will be printed. In case of 1, age will be printed. In case of 2, profession will be printed. So that's it. It's even if you give like this 1 1 1, so then also it will now can you guess what will be printed? This is so it will print only age. This is 30, I'm 30, and work as 30. So everything will be all these places will be 30. Make sense? Are you able to understand what is the use of this now? Everyone, please ping me. Okay, now let's try to understand. These are the two ways which we normally use for appending a string, and now let's see. Okay, so first thing we learned about console applications and how to get started, and I told you what has to be done before coming to the next class, and we saw simple console application, and we learned about how to execute it, and we saw how to append strings and display the output, and that's all for today. And from next week it will be for 1.5 hours, 1 hour 15 minutes class on Monday, but